Hey everybody, it's Jeff Nolan, today's realestateanswer.com. I just came back from an inspection. You know, this house was a 1998 house, and people get mechanical inspections because they want to find out if there's anything functionally wrong with the house. Well, turns out a house of that age, now about 14 years old, the roof tiles are manufactured by a company that's no longer in existence. Therefore, you can't get new tiles. So we had about 10 broken tiles. And we knew that was an issue, which is really interesting because the inspector that did the inspection did it on a different house. It was a different, did it for a different buyer. So the second buyer in was a licensee, a licensed realtor, and they made the determination that it was okay to use the old inspection. So it saved them $350, and that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se. But what the inspector didn't catch was when tiles, like for instance, sometimes you'll have valleys like this, and in this case it had flat tiles. So these valleys are supposed to have a little gap between them, and that way the water can rush right down real easily. Well, these tiles, when they built the house, were built this way. So what happens is all the debris builds up underneath here, and then the water starts to run upwards along the tile edge this way. So you see, that was actually a major problem. So while the roofer was noting that, we got about 150 linear feet of these valleys. So I asked him to actually bid the job. And so I don't know, he is their roofer. So I don't know what the bid will be. But I knew that was going to be a sore point. So that's why I wanted to have an actual dollar figure, because now we're going to have to fight over what's the dollar figure. Is it $1,000? Is it $2,000? Is it $10,000? How much is it? So it's funny how an inspector missed that subtlety, and yet the professional roofer didn't, obviously. Now, the last roofer that was up there, my homeowners, it was their guy, and he told my homeowners that the last inspector cracked all the tiles when he was up there. I find that highly hard to believe. How do roofers have to walk on the tiles? What, do they crack every time you walk on? Makes no sense. So I don't really believe that. I think they just cracked over time. But what the other roofer did to fix the tiles that were cracked was he actually put this special kind of caulking that is super durable, super strong, and almost better than the original tile anyway. So that's what we've got. You know, issues come up on mechanical inspections, and we have to decide who's going to pay for them. We have to decide, are they worthy of even talking about? Like, for instance, on this mechanical inspection, it was noted that there were a number of door stops missing. You know, those little long things you screw into the wall and the door hits on it? I mean, do you really fight over that? But you can't. And so one of the things that people use a mechanical inspection for is to try to get out of the contract. And the standard Arizona contract gives you 10 days to do that. If you really want to get out of the contract, you can get out of the contract. You can say, hey, I don't like what was in the inspection. Like, for instance, the termite guy came over today, and he found that there were no termites. Well, one could say, well, I was really hoping for termites. Right? You could say that. It's a valid thing. You may say, I was hoping for termites in order to negotiate a lower price for the house. But since there's no termites, I can't get a lower price for the house. I think I'll back out. Or it just gives them time to shop. You know, so you never know what's really in the heart and in the head of the buyer. The first guy, he wanted to use every little nickel and dime, nook and cranny as some kind of excuse not to buy the house. I couldn't believe what I heard. But these are the kinds of things that happen. So when we as realtors go to the inspection for the seller, so I was there the whole time. I wanted to hear what they saw. I wanted to see what they saw. I wanted to see what was in writing. And of course, I'll get the actual bid in writing here that I couldn't see exactly based on how he was, shuffling the papers. But this kind of stuff goes on. And I think it makes our homeowners feel more confident and more comfortable when we as the professional realtors are there, so we can hear it and see it live too. Look, it's only a couple hours. I go to every single one of them. Obviously I can't go to all of them, but I go to every one that I can go to. And like tomorrow, I'm going to go to another one tomorrow. So we're going to make sure that my homeowners are represented the best way they can be represented, that they're going to be taken care of, and that any of the issues that comes up, we get negotiate them. So I want to know what I'm negotiating ahead of time so I can pre-think through some strategies. So that's what we're doing today on today's realestateanswer.com. If you've got a question about real estate, put it on the website or call me directly, 480-626-0936. I'm Jeff Nolan. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.